this is just a video on how to find and how to ascend Yabi and how to find and ascend them. So I'll try to timestamp each Yabi below. If I fail, then part 1 is the Yabi that you don't need to challenge to evolve or obtain or ascend them. After you get these Yabi, you just need to level them up to evolve them. The question that I probably see the most is, where do I find Ridge Titan? There's a little pond if you go up after praying for Rhea, and all you need to do is throw a coin in. I know that some people skip the animation that plays after, but the animation actually tells you where to find Ridge Titan. So after you throw a coin in, it shows you the location that Ridge Titan spawns at, and just walk there and you need to throw a ball to catch him. Shiro is of course at the fairy kingdom. You need to do a series of tasks to gain his trust. Eventually you'll be able to have a chance to catch him. I think what most people struggle with is the one task where it asks you to do the treasure hunting, and you just have to find where that thing that gives you food is in the Night Kingdom. So after you put in, I think, around 5 hours, whichever one is the longest time for the food, when your Yabi come back, you have a high chance of unlocking a treasure hunt there. Haru and Aki are at the same place as Rhea. Is talk to Haru, she will begin her quest. So for her quest, you just need to collect the flowers and the red, orange, yellow, the autumn leaves, and to switch, so to change from a flower to a leaf, you just need to battle the memory that's walking around, and vice versa. The robot is at the same place as Firemane and the phoenix bird. For him, you just have to give him your materials, and then you will unlock his little challenge where you try not to get burnt alive. My tips on catching Yabi would be, use an purple or gold/orange, I don't really know what color that is. Feed food to the ones that have a red ring around them. Yabi like Shura and the event ones, where you have to use the Auroran gems to get, those have a really high chance of running away. So if you meet them, just use your highest ball and feed them food. Part 2 is Yabi that you have to do a challenge to obtain, evolve, and ascend. We will start with Currot because a lot of people can't find his sword, including me. So to unlock Currot, you have to go to the Ice Kingdom and talk to him, and then you'll find out that he's missing his sword, and then you have to go to the place that has Hero Palace. There's a sword there. Like, who would have noticed? Ascending Currot is not that hard. You mainly need good luck because he keeps freezing you, and I would suggest having type advantage helps a lot. If you don't have something that's type advantaged, then you're pretty much relying on luck alone, unless you have something that's higher than 4 stars. Well, unless you have around about 3 to 4 Yabi that are all above 4-star genes, then you're gonna struggle. Next up is Rhea, because a lot of people can't find her as well. She's at the same place as Ridge Titan and Cassey. So there's a fox statue. It's on the same map as Cassey, but it's on the left side, and there's a fox statue. And just go up to the fox statue and smash the pray button. Keep smashing it until she appears. Using the pray function will deplete your stamina, so be prepared for that as well, but you do need to keep praying for a really long time. Evolving and obtaining Rhea is pretty simple. She's not that difficult to beat, and I'm pretty sure I used Rhea against herself to evolve her because I built her. But if you didn't build her, just use something that's effective against ice. But ascending her is a problem, and if you didn't build 2 female Yabi, then don't even bother about it because male Yabi do 1 damage to her. As for the female Yabi, you need 1 Yabi that's at least 5 star. Well, at least 4 stars, but you'll still struggle if they're at 4 stars. So I would suggest 1 5-star and 1 4-star, both female. You can check their gender in the Yabi decks. Next up is Roro. So I don't think people will struggle with this one. Well, I didn't think people would struggle with this one, but apparently it's still kind of confusing. It's at the place where Roro is, but to unlock it you just need to get the statues to look in the right direction. So just keep on clicking them until they light up basically. And ascending him is sort of difficult. It's mainly dependent on what you choose for the 3 free buffs that you get, because he has a skill that copies your buffs and he likes to use it a lot. So if you choose something like evade up every round, then you are both going to have infinite evade. It will just be a never-ending battle. Bosses do have buffs after 40 rounds. Their damage will increase drastically and it will keep on increasing per round, so you can't drag battles out for long. June and the useless grass mother girl are both in the Night Kingdom, so is Nyx as well. And June and the grass girl are in the same location. June is pretty easy to find. The grass girl, however, you have to follow her will-o-wisp, and you have to follow it for quite a while, so keep on clicking on it. And if you skip one, or if you just can't be bothered clicking on the next one, then it will reset. I won't really touch on the useless grass girl if you can't tell by the name. As for June, he's pretty easy to obtain and evolve. Cran can solo it because she's got a majesty type skill, which is effective against fairy. But as for ascending June, it's almost near impossible. It's not impossible, it's easy if you have a type advantage, but for beta, we didn't have a strong majesty Yabi. So we had to rely on, well, me being free to play had to rely on Shura, which if you didn't know is pretty useless. He does like no damage, and the proper way to ascend June is with Kirin, because he can paralyze to prevent June from healing, and once you get a little bit lucky you can ascend him. But Kirin is hard to get and I didn't have time to get him. Nyx is pretty simple to find. Just walk straight up into the middle of the Night Kingdom where he usually stands. A clock will show up and just keep on spinning the clock until it gets to the right time. I didn't know this the first time I played and I kept thinking there was something wrong and trying to go out of it, but now I know just spin it until it hits the right time. Probably if you actually read it, it will tell you the instructions. Ascending Nyx is tough without a type advantage as well. If you have Phil evolved and ascended, then Nyx will basically be a breeze. If you have Kirin, Nyx won't be as much of a breeze as having Phil, but Kirin also helps a lot because of his paralyze. I would say prioritize speed, because if you can get Wisdom King faster than Nyx, then you can get a lot of debuffs in. After that, it's just a matter of finishing Nyx off before 40 turns or before he gets Infinity Invade. Shura is also a matter of walking into the middle of the map and then spinning the circles until they light up. Ascending Shura is pretty easy. Cran can solo it, Wolf can solo it. I don't remember ever struggling on this, so I'm not so sure what tips I can give you other than level up your talent, level up your genes, and level up your gear. Phoenix is pretty self-explanatory, but I would recommend not ascending Phoenix because once he turns into an egg, he has like 18k HP, and after that his attack gets buffs and all his debuffs get cleared. So unless you have built Ridge Titan or Osiris, unless you have built Ridge Titan or Osiris and some other attackers and a debuffer, then I wouldn't recommend it. After you have built Ridge Titan though, save up his hit points, so don't use him until the third round with the third bird, and keep buffing yourself every now and then. Of course, you can use the first skill because there's a chance that it will raise all of his stats, but other than that, buff up your defense. And then once he's an egg, I kept buffing myself until my defense was maxed, and then I just used the stone attack, the one where his attack increases per time that he uses it. A lot of people struggled with ascending Cassey, but to be honest, it really wasn't that hard. I think people struggle simply because they didn't build their Yabi. They think leveling their Yabi to 100 is building it when it actually isn't. Leveling it up doesn't really do anything. You have to level up your genes and your talent, and you have to give your Yabi gear. As for Cassey, as long as you have 4 genes, 1 4-star, 1 5-star gene Yabi, and both at least level 4 talent, and just put Rhea and Shura on your team, you'll be fine. Cran can solo Cassey, Rhea can solo Cassey. A lot of things can solo Cassey if you build them. So hopefully we learned something today, and if you're still having trouble finding stuff or ascending stuff, send me a message. Good luck with your future endeavors and happy gaming!